Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Mia Lueth, and it is 11/29/2022, starting just for the Trekkies. I consider myself a Trekkie, not a Trekker. I don't know. Trekker came after Trekkie. Just I'm a little older than some might think, by a good stretch, actually. So it's 8:56 a.m. Eastern. Um, Apparently next year we will not be falling back. Um, so people have been saying, and changing the time. So see how that goes. Yeah. So I try and leave certain hashtags and other things. I need to get into the meta. I gotta do some administrative techie work, which this needs to be done at this juncture. So it's another reason I'm taking a little break from other things. Yeah. So that's basically the gist of it. I still need volunteers, local, and yeah, spelling. I know I've gotten so much better at spelling words just because it's like a thing with listexia. I know. I say listexia because I can pick on my own self. Mine's not. Well, the thing about that is what I'm going to say is mnemonic devices and other visualizations, if you can help. And so when younger, frustrating, but as you get a little older, you can brain train. It's possible to brain train so that the listexia is not such a problem. But yeah, one of the reasons that I don't choose to work on certain projects or jobs or contracts or anything is because with triple digits for some reason it is a slight dyscalculia, I guess. But I never really went anywhere and got any kind of. But yes, I did get a diagnosis when I was in college. Like, oh well, your listastic is what your problem is. Oh, well, that makes sense then. All right. So I can say there's anybody who does have dyslexia, and sometimes it's teachers, so don't stop trying. Also, the the more people get to know you, they'll know, that you just said it wrong. So it's all right. I don't mind gentle correction, to be honest. Like if somebody tells me, I, it, it, it was fun for a good 10 years, I guess. I would tell people I was going to the bank to get my cash checked. And yeah, I didn't have any idea why people were chuckling at it. So, but then someone told me, I'm like, oh, they asked me, what's the matter with your cash? Do you think it's counterfeit? I'm like, oh, oh no, I meant yeah, check cash. So, um, yeah, I'm still clearing out long COVID, but it's actually happening. Yes. It's been a huge drain on me. Ick. Yeah. Yo. I was wondering, though, if anybody had really attempted to curse an illness to death. Because if it hasn't been done, yes, it can be, is what I was saying. Right. So I'm not allowed to do certain things because if I do them, but it causes trouble later on. So I do trust God, folks. But for the God haters, it's not like I don't know where you're coming from. It's just that you got the wrong information, is all I'm saying. And, somebody's trying to rile you up and stir you up, and that's a falseness. So, understanding falseness can help sometimes people understand truthfulness. Volunteers local and worldwide still needed. And yes, assistance with a case that I'm not working, but it is affecting me. Yes, in a negative fashion, and that's the point. It's just where the cycle has ended, everyone. Assistance with a case, probably paranormal. Still requesting. Somebody does mess with my electronic information and communication that was supposed to happen a certain way wasn't. So the pushy shovies of life, had no problem causing ridiculous amounts of damage to me and my property and everything else. Right. Well, there are consequences. Even if you are saved by the Holy Christ. I'm listening to Imagine Dragons this morning. It was the first one on my clicker. It's it's the blue one. It's the blue one on YouTube, isn't it? Yeah, it's a complete thunder. Come on, you like Imagine Dragons, people. Let it grow on you. See, this is the thing. When it comes to music, it's like I can't really say much other than, well, I just keep listening to it until it grows on me. Yeah, truth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, heal up, Dan. I know Dan has had a recent life change and other stuff. So prayers for Dan Reynolds and all of the dragons and all the other musical types out there in the world. Yeah, well, I can't be with you in spirit anymore. Uh, yep, higher priority. So, yeah, um, that is how it works for me. I don't personally have a choice. So there is something that does need to get straightened out, and it will. But right now, um, there's only one tiny little issue. Is all that's happening. It just seems magnified, and it just seems much more earth shattering to some a little more than others. Okay, so I'm still looking for paranormal assistance. I don't have my own equipment because if I ever uh, was asked to consult, I'm the equipment. So That's usually how that works. But I know how to run cameras and I am a certified paranormal investigator. That is also true. Um, but I do need assistance. Local, that'd be great. Hi, Elton, Maryland. One day. Soon, actually. Assistance with the case, probably paranormal. Still requested. Yes, I can write that too. So that one's still up there. So when these replay, I make sure that the live chat replays. Um, I did start what's known as a ministry. Normally, what happens would be, I would be married, and then that's not what happened. Through no fault of my own, but it did cause me serious issues. But that is the good news. Reparations can be provided. Yeah, so I also do this every time in the United States of America. Uh, Anywhere else, check around. There may be in other countries similar initiatives, but in the United States of America, it says, okay, but we don't want the S word. You understand? Right. If you're going to get hit with the C word, a crisis, that's when you act. You don't wait. And don't be thinking, I got this, because you probably don't. And I've seen too many who I've loved and cared for make that mistake. And I can't let anyone else do that, because it just grieves me to the point where I don't want to live anymore. So that can't happen anymore. I was kind of walking along with some of the Rosicrucian studies, um, and I did that for a little while, but now I have to stop. I'm not in student mode anymore. Yes, I am doctor. It is doctor of philosophy at this moment, but depending on how things go, if I can fast track a medical or with psychology. But in the state of Maryland, I am actually qualified to be known as a spiritual healer. I cannot do that from a distance anymore. Somebody made a very serious mistake, and it has caused an issue on Earth. But that issue is resolved, and therefore it will not remain on Earth either. So there is good news. Okay. Yeah. So the address is wrong, but there it is. God Cares Ministries. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Currently, I'm the entire board. My board minutes, okay, reflect that. But I've been looking for at least two other people, and you know, without certain resources, it's been difficult, but it's not totally impossible. So the ministry itself is on hold. Um, Inactive on vacation for the remainder of the year. And after the first of the year, it'll be extended another 3 months. Then I will try to concentrate more on making sure that there is a board in place, because it's the one of the most important things. But everything is all set up, paperwork, timesheets, everything. So yep, all that stuff has been done. But I do mention this because, right, this is a specialized ministry, is what I'm getting at. And some people aren't used to that. So I'm just telling you that, yeah, I got no issue. You don't have to be a Christian. Okay? I'm not asking anyone to convert to anything. No. But that's how it is. So, Cares Ministries Limited is not about religion, it's about people who need the right kind of help when they need it. And, the thinking of some is not proper as to what kind of help is necessary for certain people. So I can say that in terms of my thinking, according to, let's just call it clinical psychology, is a bit different from, yes, many of those who aren't really good counselors or therapists, to be honest. Uh, right. So, more Jungian psychologists. Right. It is the whole person, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. The truth is the truth, and the facts are the facts about that. So, there are plenty of ways to stay healthy, but unfortunately, in the United States, the modern American medical system was not set up that way. So, during a time of transition, somebody's going to be taking hits no matter what. But I can't take it anymore. No, especially not financially. And it's just, I know that there's, but it's not here yet. It's not time yet. Right? So my bank account personally is at $5.70. Now, if something comes out of there before tomorrow, I go in the negative and then I got to pay fines and fees. See, I can't make a mistake. So it won't be allowed anymore. And quite frankly, nobody's going to be able to get near me until something has been accomplished all the way through. And that is happening. But it happens in turn. So some are active while others are waiting. And I can agree absolutely wholeheartedly with Rosicrucian thinking in terms of, well, if you got the knowledge and you got the resources and you got an audience, teach it. See what I'm saying? So when it comes to education, I'm not an educator as much as I am a trainer, because I'm like, okay, this is what's happening, and you got 3 days to do it, kind of person. And so I'm a trainer more than I am any other kind of educator. But I am not in student mode. I could give it a full year, but that's coming to a close, and because of an emergency situation that isn't mine, still ends up being my problem anyway. Um, that's being rectified. So certain things are far better off than some might think. But it's hard to see that. It's hard, especially when you've just been through some bullshit. So that's why I do this in the United States. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of crisis it is. If you can't remember 911, remember 988. And if you don't have a phone, I'm sure you can find a way. Go to a library, walk into a police station, go to a fire station, walk to a hospital. Okay? It's hard to take action for yourself when that I understand, because I couldn't. But anyway, that's just the way it is. But it's a newer number, and I want to make sure everyone spreads that around. 988. Any kind of crisis, right? If you're all freaking out on the side of the road, your car broke down, don't have AAA, you don't know what the hell to do, you're all like, right? It's moments of desperation. And unfortunately, in that state, it's easy to end yourself. And that's one of the reasons why I do not really engage in, any kind of major scale firearm advocacy, because I know very well there are reasons to have a firearm in the United States of America, especially if you live remote. Me, I look at it like, well, yes, that way I can provide instant peace to an animal, right? I have no problem doing it. Some people have, I don't. I'm like, just give me the gun, I'll do it. No, I don't hesitate when it comes to that kind of thing, but also for hunting in other places in the United States. But I can say that I've just seen too many dodo birds in the United States with firearms in front of my face. Drunken people, they're not cleaning it right. They're not, so, but that is both the NRA's problem and every average American citizen's problem and the government's problem. But the biggest problem that I don't hear talked about, which needs to be heard, is okay, one loaded firearm. Too easy. It's too easy to commit suicide. And there are many, many people all over this planet who are still shaking off COVID and other things. And I personally am an individual who has been diagnosed with what some call lifelong post traumatic stress. I don't disagree. I do not disagree. I do not agree that it's a disorder. I don't follow clinical psychologists. Okay. But I don't operate in anything but safety, which is what many have not been doing over the last 10 years. So I can prove harm caused to me in every possible way. I can't let that happen to anyone else. I don't even care if someone wants to kill me. Okay. Sometimes hate isn't really hate. Sometimes it's just bad information and confusion. But it isn't possible to be misled if all you're aiming at is love. So, love above all else. Those are my kind of friendlies. And that is spread throughout, you know, standard known religions of this world. And there are some esoteric things still happen on this planet. Right? Just you didn't know. So it's new to you. So I'm breaking off a little from any kind of student stuff. I've been attacked again, which is getting tiresome at best. So I want that out, and that's why I do this to spread it 988. It's a newer number. Okay. Yeah. You're in the US and you just don't freaking know what to do and at your wits end, whatever. 988. Right. You don't have a phone, walk into any kind of fire station or police station and say, yeah, can you 988? I need 988. Okay. So it's important, but if someone else does it for you because you just didn't have the strength to do it, then don't be bitching too much. Uh, so right. So locally, it is in the plan for Cares Ministries at some point do training for law enforcement and or military. I can do that, but not for free. So it's just not. possible for me at this juncture. But I am I can take one client, and it doesn't matter. You can be religious or not religious. It's not that important. But when it comes to people who study psychology, the younger types, yes, start aiming at, we need more Jungian psychologists. So, number one, paranormal psychology should just be in most major universities, some kind of concentration or track. It's not that fringe anymore, folks, and it hasn't been for a while. Okay, you're just not nerds like some of us. See what I mean? So, just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And the millennials need to listen to me very carefully. You aren't the lead generation. Now, if you want to be the last generation, you keep going. But if you don't, then you stop. So any misunderstandings have been worked out. It is very clear to some. Okay? So alarmists, don't worry about it. Okay? A certain situation needs to be straightened out. I can't smooth that over. Well, because you attacked me and weakened me, and so now you need me, but I'm not in the proper. Hey, it's on you. And this time, for sure, it hits a male, not me. Yes, women can be strong. Okay, I get it. Ladies can be strong. Yeah, but I shouldn't be stronger than most men on the planet, is what I'm getting at. Okay, then. That's not proper thinking. Okay, good. So I got all that straightened out. And I am working on documentary cuts. I do not at all cut anything. I don't do any sort of manipulation of these YouTube videos. They're untouched. So anyone wants to test their veracity, that's a true statement too. Anybody does have time, and if you're at home like me or whatever the situation might be, anybody has time to watch any of the videos that I've put up until beginning of October. If you see anything that appears to be paranormal or moves or any other type of thing, please leave it in the comment section below. I always leave the comments open, so use them if you like. The reason that I insist that this be 21 and over is because, yes, I have to deal with such serious and horrible adult issues that I won't allow anyone under 21. I don't care how mature anybody is. So that's just that. And I make that statement, and it's written down below. So please heed that statement. I did get labs today. Finally got that done. That's another set of labs going to have to go right behind it. I'll find out about my potassium level. If there was a travel or home potassium kit level testing kit that was easy and not cost a bloody fortune, I don't quite understand. Is someone expecting me to just like rain money down on them or something? Yeah, I need clarity on a few things. But other than that, these next 2 weeks, I got appointments, paperwork, deadlines, appointments, and man, probably a few more attacks. People mouth off without thinking and type without thinking. Swear they know me, but they don't. Which is damn near impossible considering how much information about me is online. Well, why bother to try and, right? Somebody already, the United States of America already lost all my personal sensitive data once in my life. And then what they do, they did it again. Yeah. Am I supposed to be taking a hint? Fine. I'm trying to leave the country. Hi, Canada. I need a sponsor. Anybody? I don't care. Prefer English speaking countries, but I don't care anymore. Right? Just unfortunate how US citizens treat each other. So why are you all people looking for an external enemy? Well, somebody cares. I do. Right. No, see, I don't start cycles of abuse. Right. I end them. So people don't like that. Oh well. And I can really give a shit. Strangers on the fucking internet who don't know me at all, okay, are disappointed in me. Like, I don't give a shit. Who the fuck are you? Come say it to my face. Come say it to my face. Hi, people. If you can't do that, okay, I'll even let you do it online. Then don't say a single word to me. Okay? United States of America politicians and policymakers and all those actually in charge need to understand that, right? You're killing your own citizens, and so yeah, I can mention that to the UN and other yes agencies throughout the world. Was that the plan? Whose plan was it? I mean, I get dragged into such ridiculous BS that yes, now I'm just a standing wall. Now, you want to get past it, okay, but you won't be coming back. Is the problem. So there you have it. No, I'm a lighthouse built on a rock, is the problem. So there is a clear understanding of several things. And some things I have to wait for. I'm waiting for research to be tested and then peer reviewed and then put out. And so I can't really do much research wise, well, especially certain equipment I don't have. I might not need it, but it'd be nice to know I could. I'm not affiliated with a university or so it's a little harder, but basically I do know for a fact that $1,000, even with heavier repression of financial, yes, actualities, um, 1,000 makes the 1,000 a month guaranteed will stabilize the ministry for good. Because then I can get the .org and then I can get grants and then it will move along quite nicely. So I have no idea what it is that has, I don't know, made anyone think for some reason like I'm not a bank. Right. I don't know why that keeps popping up every so often. It's just wrong thinking, basically, is what it is. And so, what can I do about it? I don't know. Um, don't know. So, um, once I'm expecting that I have enough footage. I mean, I know I have enough footage. Some of it's live and up here, some of it is not. No, no, no. It doesn't go online. Um, and there's a few things I'm not going to talk to you about anybody, but once certain things kind of get settled, it'll start moving much more quickly. Um, so once I start moving, folks, well, somebody better be ahead of me. Um, so I had a bunch of notes and tips, but uh, I don't know what I did with it. And since I had found out this morning, just got labs for one thing, then I gonna have to do labs again tomorrow because I need labs for something else. I feel like a freaking pincushion. I'm done with it. And in the United States, see, I have a right to turn down medical treatment. So my rights have been stomped on all over the place, right here in the United States of America. So I wouldn't really mind if some of the United States of American citizen, yes, celebrities and famous, okay, pay a little more attention to your own freaking citizens in your own damn country for a little while. Yeah, that would be the we the people part. Um, so I know I have enough, but anybody watches any of them, and if you happen to see anything that looks a little bit like paranormal activity, write it down in the comments so we can look at it. Um, and I can't work my own case, so I still need someone who, yes, can afford to, right, do it pro bono for me. Okay, right. Well, I'm owed reparations anyway. Right. So it's all going to work out. But I do. Any paranormal investigator who knows how to, who's a lead investigator, who has any kind of paranormal equipment, all my information is down below. I can't really say, just still kind of hanging around a little, but yeah, I mean, I have a lot more footage that's not live or available to pretty much anyone, no matter how hard anybody tries. So it's not going to happen. Um, so yes, didn't plan on doing a documentary this way. It's just these are the resources I have currently, and they work fine. So good enough. All my updates will be live, and um, so then I'll be able to do phone logs. Trying to get everything set up has been unchanging tech, but it was gotten ahead of, so it'll be all right. Um, and I've done better with physical therapy. It's got to be the CBD. It can't be any other thing because that's the only thing that's changed. So, anti-inflammatory, yeah, sure, I can. I buy that, but I'm talking about the CBD, not the THC. Too much THC can cause a serotonin storm, i.e., very, very serious mental health breakdown. So be careful, 420 friends, is all I'm saying, with yourselves. Um, Again, volunteers, there's a way to support um, this effort. But you don't have money, it's fine. There's other ways. Prayer always. But instead of just praying for me, pray for Elton, Maryland. I live in Elton, Maryland. It covers me too. So I'm sort of out of commission for, I guess, a long time. And the guitar thing, I I refuse. I'm gonna try again, but I'm gonna be prepared this time for sadness. Yeah, I'm gonna cut them off and see if I can figure out movement disorder guitar, slide guitar. Oh, that might. I know. I'm like, oh no! I can't play my guitar. Yeah, what balls is the term? I still like that one. So once a day, every day, one deep breath, fit it in somewhere. That's it. That's all. That's all I can ask. One deep breath makes a difference, especially after a while you start understanding proper timing. So, yeah. And remember, kindness can also be just looking at someone and say, "You don't want to right now. I'm gonna walk away. It's best. Bye." Instead of like unloading on them. And if you're gonna vent, you gotta warn somebody. So there are healthy ways to do that. Uh, any help, any assistance, prayers, whatever. Very nice. And I did get a donation this week. Some things. So I still take donations. You just left either right inside the door. The house that I live in, it just says 8. The 2 and the 3 fell off, so I gotta remember to go out there and put the right address. This has confused some people along the way. Um, so currently, I have somewhat stabilized housing, but I'm not really sure. So just love above all else is basically it. And may the silver lining smack you in the face every time you need it, basically. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, blessed day, and thank you. See you later.